How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be working on the log arch. In the last video we got the spindles put in for the hubs and the tires. We got them mounted in, and today we're going to be working on the piece that's actually going to come from the arch, go all the way up, bend down, and hook to the four-wheeler. So we're going to work on that part right there, which I have a nice big old piece of this same pipe that we used for the arch. We're going to use for that piece that goes across the top and goes down to the four-wheeler. Let me show you the piece of pipe. I just got it cleaned up. I know you guys didn't want to watch me grind on this thing, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with the pipe and where I'm going to bend it. And we're going to be building a gusset. We need a gusset for the front here. Alright, this is the piece of pipe we're going to be using. I actually got it ground up, tried to get most of the paint off of it. And we got this thing marked at 6.5 foot and 7 foot. Now we want to be able to haul a 13-foot log on here comfortably. So we need at least weighs 6.5 feet from the bend back to the very end where it's going to hook to the arch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it at the 7-foot mark. That way by the time we get our gusset in here, we'll still have 6.5 foot, or at least weighs close to it. So our first step is we're going to have to get this thing up in the pipe bender and get it bent so we can get started on that gusset. Now, if you guys haven't seen the last video where we put our spindles in, I'll leave a link at the top right hand side of the page there. You guys can check it out. And don't forget, all these videos are in a playlist on my channel called Log Arch Build. Check them out. We can go step by step as I'm building it. Alright, let's get this set up in the pipe bender. Alright, this is actually a pretty heavy piece of pipe. I had to throw it on the sawhorse because we don't have enough room on the workbench to bend this. So the question is how far do we want to bend it? Do we want it in a 90 degrees or not a 90? I'm not thinking a full 90 degrees, but I'm not saying I'd want it to slope too much, because if I go too much with it, it's actually going to be, I think, weaker. I'm not sure, but I think close to a 90, but not a full 90. We'll see. We'll stop it when we feel like it's where we want it. And I always, like I did the arch, I do these kind of slow bend, because if you don't bend them slow, give them time to stretch, you might end up kinking your steel, and then we got to get another piece of pipe and start all over, and I really didn't want to do that. Okay, we're really close to that 90, but we're not 90. I think we're going to stop right there. I feel okay with that. I think we can make that work. This pipe bender is pretty awesome. Really works great. I like it, and I've used it actually a good bit. You wouldn't think you'd use it that much, but I have used it a good bit. Now we gotta knock this guy off. That thing gets tight in there, it gets really tight. Alright, now we're going to build our gusset for inside there. We're going to build that gusset that's going to go up to here, down. That's going to take a lot of pressure off of this and keep it on a gusset. So we got to build a gusset. Now this gusset, I might have to cut with a 4-inch grinder. We have one piece cut here at a 45, and I didn't want to go too much further than our 6.5 foot. See, we got our 6.5 foot from there back. So this is going to be a weird cut that I might have to cut with a 4-inch grinder. So if we have to do that, we will. So that's a weird looking cut, but I think I could do it. I think I can make that work. We'll give it a try, see what happens. Crazy looking cut. But that'll give it a lot more strength up in this front part. Up in the very front. Hopefully it's not too low. Let's see, when that gusset comes down, it's going to end up being about right in there somewhere. About right in here. Hopefully it's not too low. I don't think it will. So we'll go ahead and get to cutting this guy right here. We'll see. Now, worst comes to worst, we have to do a little bit of grinding to it. So, and we've been doing enough of that, so it won't matter. A little bit of grinding ain't gonna hurt us. It's close. It's close enough that we could get it welded in there. I mean, we're a little bit off our mark, but we're close. I can actually move it down a little bit, take some of the middle out of this, grind some of the middle, get it to set up there pretty tight against there. I think we'll be okay. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Alright, I think we got this thing in here really nice. We ground it out so it fit a little bit more flush. So we're going to get it tacked in there. We'll take these clamps off, we'll get it welded up. I think it's going to work out okay. I think we did a better job on it than we did the other ones on the arch actually. Now we don't want to ruin our good clamps, so we're going to get them off of there and we'll lay it down on that bench right there and get it welded together. I think this is going to be pretty nice. Okay, we have our bend in here now, and we have our gusset in. I think this turned out really nice. I know this is not a 90-degree angle. I didn't want it to be 90 degrees to the back of a four-wheeler or a tractor or whatever. You know, if you have your ball and it's up underneath your four-wheeler, you don't want this hitting your rack. And I don't know what I'll pull this with. I may pull it with the four-wheeler, some logs, smaller logs, I'll probably pull with the four-wheeler, or maybe we'll grab the tractor and use it for other size logs. But I think we don't want that at a 90 degree. We don't want that real tight up against the back of the four-wheeler. It's going to hit the rack. Okay, what I've done here is I tried to figure out the distance from that arch down to where I want the tongue to come out and latch onto the four-wheeler or the tractor, whatever you're pulling it with. And I think I'm about 3 inches too long on this. But what I did is I measured up. I needed at least 24 inches. That gives me a little more than I need. And I measured 24 there. Then I measured 24 there. And then I just come off of this square, or this level, and marked it at 24 there and tried to get a straight line. So I think we're okay with, go ahead and get this piece cut off, because we don't need that on there, for one. It's just extra weight right now. So we should be about right here. There's a 3-inch piece of steel that goes on the bottom of this, which is square stock. It'll go on the bottom right through here. And I should be about 14 inches off the floor when it's all said and done. So I might be just a little bit too long on this, but that's okay. We can always cut it down. Once we get it set up with the tires on it and get this mounted to that, we can always cut that off. We don't want to cut too much off, because we can't. It's going to be harder to add to it than it is to cut it off. So we're going to go ahead and set the, I think I can cut this with the chop saw. I don't know, but I'm going to try to set it up here and try to get a real good cut on there. And I tried to mark that right with that level. I think we got a pretty good cut on this. I don't think it's too bad. I think we'll be okay with that. It may be just a tad bit long, but we can always cut it down. I don't mind cutting it down. It's just I don't really care to add to it. So bend, gusset, this chopped off. That's a pretty good little piece to get done there. We're gonna get ready to build a jig so we can attach the arch to the main frame. Okay, so far this is what I did to build this jig. I got these 2 2x4s on here, and we put a piece of pipe back through here. So now what I'm going to do is put another 2x4 on here. But we're going to lay our pipe in here. And then we'll put our 2x4 on. This way we can keep it nice and square. Okay, you can see how the jig's set up. That's going to give me nice and straight. This is level, and we have the tongue up there where it's going to hook to the four-wheeler. It's level up and down. So we're going to go ahead and weld this up. Everything look okay up there?
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Come on. Had enough, you guys. Okay, we have our arch all put together now. You seen the little jig? I actually set the wheels on it, and it looks pretty good. It's going to turn out pretty nice, I think. Now, what I'm going to do now is I made a couple of these gussets. We're going to mount two, one here and one here on each side of this beam, and that's going to help sturdy that up a little bit. I know I probably should have sleeved this inside, but I have a nice big heavy piece of angle that's going to go on top of here, and it's going to go clear to here, from here to here. So hopefully that is going to help that strengthen that up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get to putting our gussets on. Boy, it's really starting to look like the tool I want it to be. We got the gussets welded in there. This is going to sturdy it up even more. It's looking good. Alright, we're going to get ready to make some more brackets we're going to need for this thing. And I just wanted to show you guys what this metal looks like when I get started. That metal there is the same metal that's right there. And this was, I told you guys before, it was an old railing. Went up somebody's sidewalk. You could see where these are. And I have to grind them off. I'll grind that off. But we don't want to waste a piece of metal. You can see I had to grind one off right here. So I ground one of them off on that one over there. But it's pretty rough and it's old and it looks pretty crappy, but it's definitely working nice. So we're going to go ahead and get this piece here. We're going to cut it in half. Alright, we got our first piece of metal in the pipe bender. We're going to go ahead and get this thing bent. And you know it takes a while for me to get it bent because I like to let that metal stretch as it's going so it doesn't kink. So just to save you guys a little time, I'll get you guys right back in here when it's done bent. That one's bent. I'm going to show you where it's going to go on the log arch. Now that piece is going to go sort of like this right there. We just got to cut the bottom and the top to fit. We're a little bit longer and I think that's going to be fine. But this piece will go right in here and then we'll cut one for the other side the same way. That's going to give us some good strength on these uprights in the back. I think that's going to work out really good. Okay, we got our two pieces cut and bent. Looking pretty good. Cleaned them up. I got a couple more little pieces over there. That long one and that angle on the top, got them cleaned up. They're ready to go on too. We're going to go ahead and end this video. And in the next video, we'll be putting this a lot of these pieces on the log arch. So don't forget now, all these videos are in a playlist on my channel. If you guys want to go back to the beginning and see some of the parts and stuff that we're using, you know, different things, you should be able to check everything out and get a good idea of what I'm using for this log arch. So I would like to tell everybody thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.